So hello and welcome everybody to this Sovereign Circle session, where we're going to be looking at what are you making space for in your life and what you're going to use that space for and what's going to support you in using that space and making that space effectively. And so what I want to do before we actually get going is actually just take you through a slightly guided, brief meditation, embodied meditation thing, to give you that feeling of spaciousness in yourself before I hand over to Thea, who's going to do some wonderful embodied archetypes work with you. So if you want to take a moment to feel your bum on the seat and your feet on the floor, and either close your eyes or leave your eyes open with a soft focus. And take a moment to scan through your body, starting at the feet and moving up the legs to the pelvis. And from there, feeling the belly and the lower back, and the chest and upper back, shoulders and arms. Being aware of your neck and your head as well. Then as you begin to settle and feel your weight dropping as you relax through the front of your body, around the forehead and the eyes, the jaw and the tongue, the throat, the chest and the belly. Take a moment to relax the muscles so that you can create the space. Relaxing in the pelvis, allowing the pelvis to open. Relaxing the belly, and creating space in the belly and the abdomen. And relaxing the chest to give space to the solar plexus and the diaphragm, as well as the lungs and the heart. And relaxing the throat and the jaw and the tongue to give space for your voice. And as we draw the brief meditation to a close, just pondering on the questions. What are you making space for in yourself? What will you use that space in yourself for during the call and after the call? And how can you support yourself in that? As you slowly bring yourself back, open the eyes, wiggle your fingers and toes, just holding that feeling of spaciousness in yourself. And then for us to just introduce the normal guidelines that we have on these calls, that obviously we hold to the idea that you're in your full sovereignty. So know that you're always at choice. So everything that we offer here is an offering. Always check in with yourself and make sure that you really feel like that's the right thing for you to be doing. and that we have confidentiality, obviously, on the call as well, although the call's being recorded, holding confidentiality outside of the call, and that this isn't a space for giving advice at all either. So this is a place to witness our sharing, even though we're a small group, witnessing our sharing, and that obviously sharing is a option, not a necessity. And also just to share with you that the sessions themselves are by donation. So I think Thea can put the donation link in the chat. So if you do feel like you'd like to donate, that would be warmly welcome to help support us in giving these sessions for a low fee or no fee at all. So yes, today we're going to be looking at space, and hopefully you're feeling that spaciousness inside yourself. I certainly am. And I'm going to hand over to Thea, who's going to take us on a deeper exploration of spaciousness and our archetypes. Over to you.
Thank you, David. Lovely way to start. I know I needed that. It's really, really beautiful to open that space within myself and get that feeling that I'm opening that space up to be more me, every day to be more me. So what we're going to do is keep exploring those ideas of what we're creating space for, using the archetypes, using sovereign, using warrior, using lover, and using magician to give us further insights on why we're creating space within ourselves, within our being. And that might be from letting go of behaviors, or it might be letting go of ways of being or actions or choices that no longer serve us, that we can just let go of, and then use that space to dedicate ourselves more fully to what really serves us, to what's really true to our core, and using the archetypes to get some clarity on that. And so as we go through them, what you might get, because we're going to use each archetype, you might get that, for example, I got that idea that I'm creating more space to be more fully me. And that's quite a big thing. So I might get, while I'm going through the archetypes, I might get each archetype's perspective on that. So information from warrior on how I can be more fully me. Or the archetypes might give us different things that we're creating space for. So I want to guide you to be open to whichever that is. Neither is right or wrong. The exercise will work fully, whichever way the information comes to you through your own body, your own wisdom. I work with a sense, particularly working through the body and working through intuition, that I go with what I get. So assume, I'm quite assumptive that for some reason, this serves me and I don't need to question it. I just go with it. So whatever you're getting, work with it, go with it, have confidence that it's the right thing for you in this moment of today. So if you'd like to join me, standing, if you're in the recording, do join us standing. And Alison, if you can make your adjustments to your phone and join us standing if you want to, that'd be lovely. And let's take a moment to expand that feeling of space that we just got from that lovely meditation into having a bit more space in around us as we stand, as we work with the different archetypes. So let's begin as usual with sovereign as our starting point. It's a really nice, easy, kind of centered embodiment to start with. So feel your feet on the floor. Take a moment to really feel that sense of grounded connection with the floor, maybe moving your feet around a little bit so that they really lift up your toes and then plant them back down again, so that all your toes have that connection with the floor. Maybe even lift up your heels and plant them down again. And then letting your attention work gently up your body, relaxing as you go. Relaxing your legs, your knees, your thighs, your hips, and your bottom. And as you relax, there's a feeling of that weight moving a bit down your body, because the relaxation kind of helps that feeling of weightiness in your body. And then moving up from your bottom, your belly and your back, your chest and your shoulders, your arms and your neck, and then letting your head, gentle movement until it feels nice and centrally placed and your weight feels stable. And then feeling that crown on your head. So your feet are firmly planted on the ground in sovereign, but also you have that connection to the higher, decision making, vision holding. And your gaze straight ahead and maybe quite far seeing. And in this extension of sovereign from the meditation we've just done, once again, let yourself relax into it. Let your breathing soften and deepen. With a little bit of patience, letting your body settle with your thoughts into an awareness of what you are creating space for in your life. We've worked a lot with letting go of things in the last few sessions. And that opens up space. So asking your sovereign, what am I creating space for in my life? And that may be something fairly small and manageable. It may be big ideas. Receive whatever you get and let that be. And then we're going to move into warrior together. So wherever you are, I can't actually, normally I would step forward for warrior, but I haven't got room, so I'm going to step back. But you've got this 1 foot forward, 1 leg forward, a feeling of moving forward. Let me get a bit more of my body on the screen here. That feeling of weight forward, of chest forward and out a little bit. And you can bring your hands up in a kind of either holding a sword style, or with that kind of kung fu style openness. And your gaze becoming fierce, focused. Your breath may be becoming a bit stronger, particularly on the out breath. Ready, focused, strong, all those qualities of warrior, whatever comes for you. And take a moment in this embodiment, let it feel, let that change feel through your system. And asking yourself here, what am I creating space for in my life that warrior can inform me about? As I said, you might get a different take on what you were getting before, or you might get something completely different from warrior. Do feel free to move if you want to. Take some steps in warrior, that fierce, forward, focused. It can be quick, or it can just be very determined. What is this space for? What am I creating space for my warrior? And then when you've got a couple of ideas, bring your stance back to sovereign, feet planted, letting that balance, that feeling of balance up your feet, your knees, your hips, your shoulders aligned, your head centered. Take a breath. And then we're going to move to magician. So the same question, what am I creating space for? But from the perspective of the magician, the imagination, the all-seeing, the unknown. So lifting up on your toes, lifting your body up, lifting your arms and your shoulders up. Really feeling that in all of your body, an upwards movement, a little bit unstable, kind of really engaging with that lack of stability. And from the perspective of magician, the realm of imagination, the realm of magic, the realm of like learning and creating. What are you creating space for? What does the magician recommend this space is for? And again, you can move it around the room if you want, just be careful of the space. Make any adjustments you need to at any point for your own body, your own being. I'm feeling a bit of giddiness today, so I'm taking it easy with the moving around with my eyes up. And then when you've got something, once again, back to centered, back to sovereign. And finally, lover. So maybe a step back for lover. Lover, we can move forward with giving, we can move back, and we can move into self-care. So maybe putting one arm on your shoulder, one arm over your belly, on your side. Moving your head towards your hand a little bit. That feeling of self-love. Making your hands soft. Giving them the quality of touching something you love, someone you love. And soften your gaze, maybe lower your gaze a little bit more inwards. And asking your lover, what am I creating space for? What serves me to bring into this space that I've created? And whatever lover says, receive it, welcome it. When you're ready, come back into neutral. Just bring yourself into that sovereign embodiment. Take a breath. Once again, using sovereign as a gathering point for all that information you've just received, bringing it into your wholeness. There's room for everything. A kind of receptive choice to take it on. And when you're ready, come back to the screen. And we started a little bit late today, so David, I'm happy to continue beyond to finish. Are you okay? Are you okay, Alison, to carry on for? Yeah, okay, great. Okay, so maybe let's take a moment before we land this with some guidance on follow through, on how to support those things you're making space for. Just wanted to get a sense of what you were getting, of what sort of information you're receiving at this point. So, Alison, I don't know if you're in a position to unmute and share. You're muted, so we can't hear you at the moment.
There, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
It's was lovely, despite everything going on my phone, all sorts of stuff in the background, and something happened to the volume of my phone, so I was having to really listen, and there was wild wind and trains going out in the distance and all sorts of stuff, but it just felt very lovely to be in the center, like being the calm in the center of the storm, if you like. So I guess that's what this space has brought for me today, is just lots of stuff that goes on in almost in an unreal way sometimes, and the experience of feeling connected within myself in different ways through the different embodiments of the sovereign and warrior, the determination of the warrior, and the organization of the sovereign, and just the lightness of touch of magician with the wind in the background, and the beauty of the trees holding the space. The trees feel like they're standing there holding the space. You can see them in the background, these beautiful poplar trees. So yeah, so it was a really lovely experience. Thank you very much, Thea.
Pleasure, Alison. I'm so glad. For me too. I really enjoyed it. You know, got this sense of making more space to be more fully me, and each archetype just added a different aspect of that. So like to fiercely make a stand for myself in warrior, and with lover to be more me in my communication, but also to be more connected to others through being more fully myself. And yeah, it was really, there's a kind of special roundedness in it when you look at it from each perspective of the archetypes. I don't know if you want to share anything, David, about your experience.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. Yeah, my experience was like I really enjoyed the spaciousness, the meditation at the beginning, and just when I allow myself and give myself that space, there's a real focus and determination in using my time wisely to be of real service to my mission. And that it looked different with each archetype, but they were all very much galvanized towards a similar thing, and that felt really reassuring. So thank you.
Yeah, great to get those kind of affirmations of to be affirmed in what we're making a priority. Okay, so we're going to give the sense of like, it's great to know what it is we're making space for, but there's also there's follow through to make that a priority. So we're going to take a little short moment, still just sitting here, to ask our bodies, and the archetypes might speak through our bodies, one or other, or the body might speak direct, just to give us some information or guidance and tips or advice on how, like, what is it that's going to help you hold that calm center, or what's going to support me most to be more fully me in the world. So if you would like to take a moment to sit with me, and I'll guide you through to talk to your body and get some practical advice on follow through here. I'll give you a moment to get settled back inside, Alison. Okay. So once again, just got some beautiful, rich information there. Take a moment in your body, feeling your bottom on the seat, feeling your feet wherever they've landed, feeling yourself upright, supported, Relax as much as you can through your core. So imagine that you can soften around and between your eyes. Relax your jaw. Relax as much as you can of your shoulders and neck. All the way down your back, your bottom and pelvis. And softening down your front. Take a breath when you're ready. And let it go. And bring to your mind the information you've got of what it is you're creating space for. The highlights of what it is you're creating space for in your life. And if there was a place in your body, if there was a part of your body that had information on how to go about this, on the practice or the actions or the follow through that's going to support you in delivering and holding that space, check in with your body and ask your body, find out where that is. And it might be an archetype speaking through your body. So ask which archetype it is. And just go with whatever comes. I've got lover coming up for me. So I'm going to go with asking lover. And ask lover directly, or ask whatever the part of your body or the archetype that's come up for you. What advice can you give me on delivering this new thing that I want to make space for? And again, receive the first thing you get. And then when you've got something, little movement, come back into your sense of being in the world. In your body that needs to find remote controls and do life. And maybe, I don't know if you'd like to share, Alison, if you want, enjoying the quiet of being inside.
It's nice and quiet in here now.
Right.
It's like an inner space. And I think that's what has been kind of calling to me, that sense of my own inner space and the sense of listening. So as the ears really listening to the inner sound, and something about my feet being on the ground, feeling grounded. So I did have this sense of sovereign, talking to sovereign and asking for this help, and this is what came for me, a kind of an awareness of keeping an awareness of everything, and at the same time feeling really grounded and connected. So that's sort of connecting all of the archetypes through that. Very lovely, thank you.
Beautiful. Yeah, so yeah, a really nice opportunity there. I love the way you express it, Alison. Yeah, I got some beautiful advice from Lover, and it's quite interesting because I don't really know what it is, but Lover says unfold and keep unfolding. And like my rational mind doesn't know how to do that, but part of me does, because I could feel even in my belly just this sense of little kinks kind of opening out. So that's the advice I got. David, how about you? If you want to share.
I got warrior and being more fierce about protecting my time and my space. Yeah, in a way that I haven't been doing up until now.
Yeah,
So
right.
that feels really clear.
Okay.
Mm.
I'm going to hand over to David to wrap us up and complete the session. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for your participation. Lovely to work with you, Alison.
Well, thank you, Thea, and thank you, Alison. And that was a rich sharing and a rich session. So thank you very much. It feels a little bit like we're quite complete already. So I think that's what we'll do. So if you can, we can all unmute ourselves and say goodbye in the most spacious way that we can muster.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Farewell and have a wonderful week.
Thank you, Alison.
Thank you.